A viewer, identifying himself as a Bigfoot researcher, shared some unusual footage from one of his field excursions. The footage captures a dark figure moving through the forest. It doesn't seem as large as one might expect, prompting some to speculate it could be a juvenile. However, it also closely resembles a person dressed in black, making it unlikely to be Bigfoot. While camping, a tourist took the following shocking photo. Right off the bat, we see a dark, somewhat indistinct shape obscured by dense foliage. The subject appears large, bulky, and covered in what could be dark fur or hair, consistent with common Bigfoot descriptions. The angle and lighting make it challenging to discern specific features, which, as we know, is often the case with these kinds of sightings. The alleged creature is positioned deep within what looks like a forested or heavily overgrown area, providing ample cover and making a clear shot difficult. The outline of the shape suggests a bipedal stance, and the sheer mass of it is quite striking. Is it a bear? Perhaps a large animal caught in an awkward pose? Or could it truly be the elusive cryptid? My take? While intriguing, this photo, like many before it, falls into the category of could be, but isn't conclusive. It certainly aligns with the kind of blurry, distant, and partially hidden imagery often associated with Bigfoot encounters. It fuels the imagination and encourages further investigation, but it doesn't provide that irrefutable, crystal clear evidence we're all hoping for. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. A vlogger was filming a casual outdoor video in the woods when viewers later spotted something unsettling.
I want to talk to you guys about a giveaway we're getting ready to launch with our B Alpha shirts. So these B Alpha shirts that you've seen on our social media, we're going to do a contest where those who buy one, if you go tag us in your rifle kills this year, we're going to give the best photo bison cooler. So you're going to be able to pack your hunting stuff, you're going to be able to pack your drinks, all that kind of stuff when you're out hunting.
Behind him, a tall, dark figure appeared to move through the trees. The man, focused on his camera, seemed completely unaware. What disturbed viewers wasn't just the figure itself, but the fact that it remained so close, unnoticed. While hiking in the woods with her dog, she unintentionally filmed something unusual.
Isn't this gorgeous?
In the distance, between the bushes, a large brown figure appears to be standing before slowly turning and walking away. As expected, the footage is incredibly low quality, making it impossible to determine what exactly was moving through the woods that day. A man set up a trail camera in the hills of West Virginia, hoping to capture local wildlife. But on July 10th, 2025, the footage revealed something he never expected. The camera captured a dark bipedal figure, covered in long, shaggy fur. It seemed to lunge at the camera before turning and disappearing into the forest. At first, some claimed it was merely a black bear, but others noted that its thick, scruffy coat didn't quite match. And given West Virginia's rugged wilderness and long history of Bigfoot reports, many can't help but wonder, could this have been the creature of legend? While hiking at an undisclosed location, someone captured this video. It's not a tree, not a stump, and there's nothing nearby that could explain what's seen. With so little context, it's hard to make sense of the footage. Whatever it was, it may remain a mystery forever. This recently captured trail camera footage presents two different angles of Bigfoot. It was first highlighted on September 24th, 2024. The exact location wasn't disclosed, which adds to the mystery surrounding the clip. However, we do know the cameras were installed in a relatively remote section of the forest. Here are the two clips. Even though the trail camera only captured short clips, they're still quite convincing. In the first video, the Sasquatch's chest and facial features are clearly defined. When we freeze the frame, we can see it turn and then leap away. During the leap, its glutes are well defined, and the fur appears flush against its body. These characteristics alone lead experts to rule out the possibility of it being a person in a costume. The second video adds even more evidence. Experts note the unusually long strides, which don't resemble human movement, and the unique way it jumps. As mentioned, this footage is very recent, so hopefully more details will emerge soon, like the full story or the exact location. Perhaps the secrecy is intentional, meant to protect both the creature and its habitat. I'll keep you updated if any new information comes out. Until then, let me know what you think in the comments. While hiking in the Himalayas, two trekkers came across something they never anticipated.
Co tam jest? Widzisz? Zobacz, 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 tam na lewo od kozicy, co jest? O kurde. Pokaż to na to. O kurde, masz to? Z tej strony masz to? Gdzie to jest? O, tutaj, o kurde, co to jest?
Niedźwiedź?
Nie. Nie no, niedźwiedź tak nie chodzi. Co to jest? Do kozicy? Co to jest?
A large, dark figure can be seen moving steadily across the rocky landscape. Its slow, human-like stride left both hikers bewildered. Some believe the footage might be evidence of the yeti, the legendary ape-like creature said to inhabit these mountains. Adding to the mystery, the hikers noted that there was no visible trail or path in that direction, making it unlikely to have been a person. Whatever it was, the strange figure remains a mystery. On January 22nd, 2020, the Washington State Department of Transportation released webcam photos taken at Sherman Pass along State Route 20. One image, in particular, drew widespread attention. It seemed to show a tall, human-like figure standing near a tree. While some dismissed it as nothing more than a lighting illusion, others were convinced it was Bigfoot. Eastern Washington has long been a hotspot for sightings like this, and with Sherman Pass's history of strange encounters, the mystery is difficult to overlook. In a secluded area of Georgia, a man installed a game camera in his yard. He had previously heard odd noises and even reported seeing movement among the trees. The motion-activated camera was aimed at his mobile home. On the far right of the frame, a mysterious figure appears. No label, no explanation, just a brief glimpse of a creature in the spot the man had long insisted something was present. Its true identity, however, remains unknown. A driver in Japan's Mount He region captured something truly strange. While on the road, he spotted an odd creature moving on all fours, but as he approached, it suddenly rose to stand on two legs and tried to hide. This is the photo he managed to take that day. Disturbed by what he saw, he decided not to investigate and kept driving. As dusk settled over the Arkansas woods, a lone figure trekked deeper into the encroaching shadows. The usual sounds of nocturnal life were strangely absent, replaced by an unsettling quiet that amplified the crunch of his boots on the leaf-strewn path. An inexplicable prickle of unease crept up his spine, the unmistakable sensation of being observed. He swept his flashlight beam across the dense undergrowth, his powerful light piercing the gloom. Suddenly, two pinpricks of light ignited in the darkness, reflecting his beam from what felt like an impossible depth within the trees. His breath hitched, every muscle tensing as he tried to decipher the source of the luminous eyes. Before he could process the sight, a guttural, almost mournful groan rumbled through the stillness, vibrating the very air around him. The sound seemed to emanate from all directions, sending a fresh wave of primal fear through him. The unseen presence was no longer a feeling. It was a palpable entity lurking just beyond the reach of his light, its gaze fixed solely on him.
What the hell was that? Says, y'all.
While hiking near Priest Lake, Idaho, a man paused to take some photos when he noticed sudden movement in the trees. Unsure of what it was, he started recording.
It's crazy.
Shortly after, a huge figure appeared, standing an estimated 7 to 8 feet tall, its body cloaked in dark fur, moving slowly through the forest. However, due to the poor quality footage in the distance, it's impossible to determine exactly what was out there. This unusual brief clip was released on July 14th, 2024. Like many of these sightings, very little context is provided, but the footage is so close up that it has left viewers shocked. Take a look. An explorer stumbles upon a cave deep in the woods, inhabited by strange creatures. There are 3 of them, and they seem completely indifferent to the man filming. Looking closer, they appear almost alien, dark in color, unnaturally thin, and moving in a strange, unsettling way. Their heads are disproportionately large compared to their spindly humanoid bodies, and they seem to be walking with sticks, using them to navigate their path. Perhaps the creatures can't see, which might explain why they ignore the man's presence. After a strenuous hike to Panorama Ridge near Black Tusk Mountain, a group of hikers stopped to admire the expansive view. The peak seemed to stretch on forever, but then something out of the ordinary caught their attention.
It's not just a dude.
Dude, no. Yeah, it is.
You think so? It has to be. It just looks like such a big thing for such a, like...
He's fucking hauling it down that mountain.
Down that for sure. No, but he's like just going he's not on a trail, guys. This is not...
Why is this so
What are we looking at? Seriously. Are we all seeing the same thing? Yeah!
Yo!
Far across the glacier, a solitary dark figure made its way steadily down the icy slope. Its stride was strong and purposeful, unlike any hiker they had ever encountered. In that isolated part of British Columbia's mountains, one question lingered. Had they just seen a Sasquatch? The camera's lens struggled to adjust as a skeletal, chimp-like form materialized from the oppressive darkness. Its matted fur, a perfect camouflage, seemed to absorb the scant light, making its contours shift and blur. Yet, 2 points of intense crimson burned like embers in the night, fixing on the hiker. It moved with an unnerving, fluid grace on all fours, its unnaturally elongated limbs propelling it with deliberate, almost thoughtful motions. As it approached a weathered, moss-covered stone wall, the creature's head swiveled, its glowing red eyes locking onto the terrified observer for a fleeting moment before it continued its silent, agile journey along the ancient stones. In March 2021, a hiker exploring off-trail in a canyon within San Bernardino National Forest came across something unusual, a single large footprint. It featured a distinct heel and visible toes, roughly the length of a men's size 12 shoe, but nearly twice as wide. Nearby, a few partial toe impressions were visible, but no other complete prints were found. While out hiking, Daniel Benoit and his wife came across fresh footprints in the soft soil.
This here looks like a track going this way. There's a heel. And here's your toes right there going that way. We didn't see that one before. There's another one up here. All right, something go ahead. Look, it got stepped on by something. Cause look, this track right here, this here had toes right up.
They tracked the prints toward a small clearing, where he trained his camera on a dark figure on the hillside.
Seeing something up there, up on the hill there on the lower part of the ridge. I don't know, it could be a stump. It's a dark image up there. Look.
Yeah.
Look at it, it moved.
Its head moved.
It's moving, it's trying to hide from us. Dude, look.
There he went again. He's playing high-boo.
Dude, he's moving. There's a squatch up there. He's blurred, you know, because I try not to zoom in too much.
At first, it appeared to be just a stump, but then it moved, slipping behind bushes, crouching, always staying just out of view. Feeling more and more uneasy, they quickly left the area. While hiking through the forests of Idaho, this individual managed to capture something truly extraordinary on camera. From the tree line, a massive figure emerges, broad, towering, and almost unreal. Its immense size and the smooth, natural way it moved led many to believe the footage might be genuine. Skeptics, of course, argue it's simply a person in a costume or a well-made digital hoax. Yet the subtle details, the weight in its steps, the fluid motion of his body, make it much harder to dismiss. On August 19, 2009, researchers set up a trail camera in a remote stretch of bushland for a scientific study. But what it recorded that day was far from ordinary. In the footage, a tall, broad, dark figure appears to move behind the trees. The dense foliage makes it difficult to see clearly. So, was it simply a hiker dressed in black? Or could this have been Bigfoot himself? A new Bigfoot video has recently been making waves online, and if it's authentic, it could be the clearest evidence of Bigfoot ever captured. No questions about it. Like the previous sighting, this footage was reportedly recorded by a trail camera deep in the forest. The camera, positioned low to the ground, captured the video on July the 17th, 2025. Take a look. It's easy to see why this video has the internet buzzing. A massive Sasquatch-like creature slowly walks past the camera. There's little doubt about what it appears to be. It looks unmistakably like Bigfoot. The big question, however, is whether the footage has been edited or manipulated. While it looks incredibly realistic, AI technology is becoming increasingly convincing. Skeptics suggest it could be the work of advanced AI, while believers argue the video is entirely authentic, including the uploader and trail camera owner. He insists it's genuine Sasquatch footage, with no edits or tricks involved. Cryptozoologists analyzing the video estimated the creature's height to be around 8 feet, judging from its surroundings. They also examined its hands, noting they appear hairless and remarkably human, a trait often reported in Sasquatch sightings, similar to gorillas, where hands and facial areas may lack hair. This sighting has sparked a lot of debate. Which side are you on? Do you believe it's real or not? A bizarre photograph taken in the dense forest near Mount St. Helens has sparked a wave of speculation. Many are asking the same unsettling question. Did someone actually stumble upon the remains of a Bigfoot hand? The image surfaced in Washington, a region long regarded as one of America's most active hotspots for Sasquatch sightings. At first glance, some dismiss it as nothing more than a bear paw, or perhaps a beaver's. But the longer you study it, the less the explanation fits. The shape is off. The proportions are strange. Those aren't the thick, blunt digits of a bear. They look more like fingers, slender, jointed, even oddly well-formed, almost as though they were manicured. The man who made the discovery, Tyler Barnes, claimed he saw the remains being gnawed on by a cougar before he managed to retrieve them. And that raises another puzzle. How exactly did he get close enough to take it from a predator without incident? Whatever the case, it leaves us with more questions than answers. We can confidently rule out bear, beaver, or even human. If authentic, this could represent partial evidence of something far stranger, a primate-like creature of impressive size. Exactly the kind of being long rumored to haunt the shadowed slopes of Mount St. Helens. In the previous videos, we have already seen Bigfoot from Russia. But there were high-quality photos. Now let's consider what other people managed to remove. Amid the vast stillness of a Russian forest, where silence presses against the snow-laden pines, a solitary man lingers. The world around him is hushed, every branch bowed beneath the weight of winter's grip. His breath spills in quick, ghostly clouds, dissolving into the frigid air as his eyes scan the endless white. Through the curtain of falling snow, something stirs. A colossal shape moves with unsettling purpose, its broad frame pushing through the drifts as though the storm itself parts for it. Shaggy, towering, impossibly upright. Its gait is far too measured, far too deliberate to belong to any bear. The man's heart hammers against his ribs. A tremor runs through him, half fear, half awe. Could it be? The fabled creature whispered about in hushed voices. The Yeti, alive and roaming this frozen wilderness before his very eyes. In the last videos, we saw footage of a helicopter supposedly transporting a Bigfoot across the sky, but we also got a similar clip. But this time, it's not a video, but a very high quality photo. Let's see. Looking at this photo, it appears to show a Bigfoot-like figure hanging upside down in midair, being carried by a helicopter above a highway. Below, several cars and people are visible, which gives a sense of scale. The figure seems very large, possibly the size of a grown human or bigger. The helicopter is holding it with some kind of rope or cable, and the figure's arms and legs are dangling freely. The trees and power lines on the sides show this is happening in a forested area near a road. The image is unusual because it's rare to see a creature like this being moved in such a way, and everything about the figure, its size, posture, and shape, resembles classic Bigfoot descriptions. It's unclear whether this is real, staged, or costume, but visually, it creates a dramatic and striking scene. During a live television broadcast, viewers noticed something unusual on Mexico's second highest peak. Something no one could easily explain. The mountain, Popocatépetl, rises more than 17,000 feet above sea level, a place so extreme that only the most prepared climbers attempt it. Yet, in the background of a televised interview, several strange figures were spotted ascending its slopes. They appeared tall, thin, and unclothed, their dark silhouettes standing out sharply against the snow. Witnesses estimated their height at close to 8.5 feet. Even more unsettling, the figures scaled the mountain with remarkable ease, showing no struggle against the thin air or the treacherous terrain. At first, authorities avoided commenting. Later, they suggested the shapes were simply human climbers distorted by distance, but locals weren't convinced. They point out that at such altitude, oxygen is scarce. The slopes are deadly, and no climbing equipment was visible on the figures. Adding to the mystery, Popocatépetl has long been a hotspot for UFO activity, with decades of unexplained aerial sightings above the volcano. For many, the incident only deepened suspicions that something, or someone, strange inhabits the region. The following entry appeared recently on the internet. A cryptozoologist went to the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest in Washington. As usual, he conducted research in the area, when suddenly, less than 50 yards from him, a tall figure, covered in dark fur, appeared, rumbling through the twilight gloom. His blood froze in his veins. Heart pounding, paralyzed by primal terror, he picked up the camera. What followed is perhaps the most impressive evidence of the presence of a Bigfoot ever captured. The figure in the video is covered in long, dark, shaggy fur, with its broad and muscular build standing out against the natural environment. The face of the creature is somewhat obscured, but there is a visible resemblance to a large primate, with noticeable eyes and a wide mouth. This is a typical feature in many Bigfoot sightings, with witnesses often reporting an ape-like facial structure. The posture of the creature is upright and bipedal, which aligns with most reports of Bigfoot sightings. Its large size and long limbs further suggest that it is built for walking on two legs, though its gait remains ambiguous due to the image's quality. The creature's stance appears strong, adding to the notion that Bigfoot is a physically powerful and imposing figure. The slightly blurry and pixelated nature of the video is typical of many purported Bigfoot sightings. The quality of evidence in such sightings is often questioned, and the distortion may be a result of quick camera movements, distance, or environmental factors such as lighting. This has led to skepticism about the authenticity of Bigfoot videos in general, as clearer images are rarer. Why did the cryptozoologist go to this particular place? It was in this forest that his friends disappeared a year ago, who were also interested in Bigfoots and their research. These forests are full of legends about Bigfoot, and a large number of Bigfoot encounters have been here. What do you think about this video? Write in the comments. Late one night, a retiree aimed his night vision scope toward the woods behind his home. What he captured might reveal the source of the strange activity around his property. The man, Larry Surface, lives on the edge of Ohio's Wayne National Forest. With a night scope attached to his camera, he scanned his backyard under the faint glow of the moon. In his recording, a tall, dark figure suddenly appears in the lens. It moves upright and steady, its silhouette clearly outlined against the trees. After comparing the angle of the shot to his own height, Larry estimated the figure to be nearly 6 feet 10 inches. He explained that whenever he installed trail cameras or infrared sensors, the activity would stop completely, sometimes for more than a year. Only after removing the devices did the strange encounters begin again. Skeptics suggest the night vision effect may distort proportions, making the figure appear larger. But Larry had the footage reviewed by a professional who stated, "The proportions are unmistakable." Convinced, Larry believes he may have captured one of the so-called wild people said to roam the Wayne National Forest. So, what do you think? It remained still, its gaze fixed just beyond the brush. In 2012, deep in rural Alberta, Canada, a trapper set up a motion-triggered trail camera to observe local wildlife. What it captured, however, wasn't any familiar animal, and certainly wasn't just passing through. The photo shows a large figure seated calmly on the forest floor. It has broad shoulders, a cone-shaped head with no discernible neck, and long, muscular arms covered in thick, reddish-brown hair. The figure seems relaxed, almost aware of its surroundings. Skeptics have suggested it could be a bear or someone wearing a ghillie suit, but the proportions don't match up. Bears don't have human-like shapes, and this figure would be at least 7 feet tall if standing. That alone rules out many possibilities. Some cryptozoologists even consider this one of the clearest images of a Sasquatch yet, showing it in a peaceful, non-threatening pose, resting and observing without concern. So, did this trapper accidentally capture a moment from the life of a creature? Or is it just an incredible optical illusion? After a long look, I still can't make sense of it. A group of explorers embarked on a hike deep into an undisclosed remote region, somewhere in the U.S. forest lands. They were miles off the beaten path when a chilling sensation crept over them, the unmistakable feeling of being watched. That's when they decided to start filming, sensing that something extraordinary, or terrifying, was about to unfold. What they captured over the next several hours is nothing short of astonishing. Out of nowhere, a massive ape-like creature with dark, reddish-brown hair burst from the tree line, charging at the group. In a panic, they fled, but not before catching it on camera. Moments later, they managed to film it, retreating back into the woods. Believing the creature wasn't intent on harming them, merely warning them off, the team did the unthinkable. They went after it. With nerves of steel, they tracked the being and captured even more footage. At one point, it emerged into a clearing, offering the clearest view yet, and when the camera zooms in, it becomes increasingly difficult to believe this is someone in a suit. The hair appears naturally integrated with its body, lying flush against its muscles, suggesting this might be a living, breathing entity. Still, the footage raises more questions than answers. The mystery remains unsolved, and until we learn more, nothing can be confirmed with certainty. But one thing's for sure. This is some of the most convincing and high-quality Bigfoot footage we've ever seen. People constantly complain about Bigfoot videos being too shaky or unclear, but this one breaks that mold. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This one deserves a real conversation.